Hi everyone, it's Kimberly. Welcome back to the channel. And it is Easter. Happy Easter for those of you who celebrate. This is your weekly messages from the Masters series from Ascended Masters and Angels. We'll be doing some automatic writing, receiving messages through the Archangel and Ascended Masters decks, as well as the Ascension deck today. Like last week and the past few times I've done this, I don't really know what's on the docket. I definitely know what's in the air, but you can watch my other videos to get like more overall collective messages. Um, these videos are really just specifically messages from the archangels, higher messages. I spend quite a bit of time calling in Mother Mary, the archangels, and getting into a higher state before I turn on the video. So I feel like their presence is already invoked. We are ready to receive those messages. I just want to remind you that if anyone wants to book a full moon reading or a guidance session, soul coaching session, that's all available on my website, spiritualmaterialgirl.com. Don't forget to sign up for summer camp, you guys. It's Ascension School, 12 weeks of coaching, transformational program. Check it all out. A couple of videos I have up on YouTube explaining what the program is. If you guys aren't sure, you're thinking about it, reach out to me, send me an email because probably close registration in early May. And I know a bunch of you have mentioned being interested. So, yes. Okay. So let's see what comes. I am still drinking my celery juice. So sorry if you hear me sipping. It's early. Okay, you guys. Let's see what the messages that come. So this is 4/21/19. They're sort of, I feel like they're just drawing this for us. I'm going to have to adjust this a little bit. Sorry, guys. They're saying co-create. So let's ask them for further. Okay, they're drawing something for me. Well, this is very interesting. I'm going to have to zoom out so you guys can see. Do you see what they've just drawn or shown us? So they're saying that they're really saying how pivotal the animal spirits are. They're trying to show us that. And that's probably why I've been channeling around like the unicorns and the whales and the dolphins and all of that, because they've been trying to show us that like they're part of this. This is part of how we receive our guidance. And in order for us to pull things into the 3D, they're saying like ask for help. And they're also, I feel like, showing us we're receiving it. You know, we've got to be like, you know, it's always there, and we've got to be open to receiving it. So So it's kind of interesting that they show from the 5D to the 3D angels, guides, animal spirits, and vice versa. You could look at it. It's kind of just like this reciprocal thing. Like, I would say that our animal spirits are the most grounded, right? Because they're actually of the earth, of Gaia. And then our guides are, they're obviously ascended, they're on the other side, and most of our guide team has ascended in some way, like they're not incarnating into new lifetimes anymore. Okay. And then you have your angels, like the archangels and the higher beings, and they're trying to show us, like, it's not just you co-creating with the universe. Like, you are literally, there's so much guidance available to you, is what they're saying. You need to be open to all the angles that you're receiving the guidance. If you guys don't already know your guide team, like your spirit guides, I have a meditation. It was held in a workshop, and I'm happy to make it available to you. Any of my workshops, like if you want the recordings or if you want the workbooks and recordings, I just make them available for $20. You can email me, I'll invoice you, and then I'll send you all the materials. But the Meet Your Spirit Guide team is pretty in depth. It's pretty awesome. If you haven't met your guides, you have 5 main guides. But animal spirits are different. Sometimes people get that confused. And so are our angels and higher beings. So they're saying, like, we need to be open to working with and developing a better language with all of these souls, because they're continually guiding us. And I feel like at this time, when we're being asked to co-create with the universe, like, you guys might feel like, well, how? And how do I bring this thing into life? And how do I, anchor this down into the 3D? And they're saying you're always receiving the help. You have to know how to work with your guide team and with your animal spirits and angels. And, for some of that, there's universal meanings to the signs and synchronicities. And for some of that, it's very unique for you, and it's just personal to you. So when we receive like universal messages, like, the 1111 phenomena, that can also be, when you see 1111, a personal message for you. But more times than not, there's more like universal meaning, especially when there's a lot that's syncing up in the collective in terms of like number patterns. So if you want me to break it down, I would say that we have these collectively as well, but you have them individually. Why else would I be able to make a video about dolphins and have such an amazing response to that? Because it was universally clicking for so many people. But you might have a dolphin as your animal totem, and it means something different to you personally. And that's your own personal message, not just a collective message. Does that make sense? So if you guys feel like there's something specific to you, it's not just like this universal synchronicity or sign, then it's up to you to kind of develop that language. And in time, you'll know what it means. If you've just started working with that animal or that guide or that sign, whatever it is, it takes time to be able to develop a language. You have to become an observer. You have to, really just allow the signs to show you what it means. And in time, you'll know what the guidance is. So I forgot a tissue again. Hold on, you guys. I'll be right back. For those of you who haven't seen these, I will transition at some point from automatic writing into a card pull. But let's erase this board. And I feel like what they're asking us to do is to find out how they're guiding us each right now. So they're saying flip the board horizontally, and they're saying animal, your guides, which is more specific to you, but they're talking about collective guides and angels. So this is like ascended masters. Okay. So when you do it for you, it's going to be like your own spirit guide team. Okay. And it's going to be, your angels, your own spirit guide team, your animal spirits. But we're doing this as collective. So they're showing it to me as like animal spirit. And then like the collective guides, which are the ascended masters and the angels. So how are they guiding us right now? They're saying eagles, hawks. Particularly for the masculine. This is eagles and hawks. Okay, for the feminine, there's something different, I guess. They're showing me like fish and water. So something around flowing and emotions. Yeah, so this is what we're moving into this week. Whereas last week was like flamingos, we've talked about dolphins, we've talked about swans, we've talked about, this is what's up right now in the collective. So we have, put that right there. So we have eagles and hawks for the masculine, and like fish, like water type. They're showing me like, like fish in a stream, or that type of, like salmon, like they're showing me like salmon. They keep showing me the stream. So I feel like for the masculine, the reason why they're receiving the eagles and hawks is because they're coming into like a new level of their own psychic and spiritual awakening. They're also able to see, I have goosebumps, a larger view right now. They're seeing the bigger picture. And view and psychic awakening or psychic expansion. So it's that they're able to see the bigger picture. They're understanding their life's purpose, direction, who they truly want to be with, what the truth is. They're able to zoom out on their current situation and see a bigger picture. And I also feel like they're being guided. They're opening up to signs, synchronicities, messages from the universe, and their psychic awareness is coming into greater, it's keening up, and they're, masculine's definitely being very guided. Masculine, you might see eagles and hawks around you. You might look up and see an eagle nest or have hawks flying over your car. Personally, I know with hawks, I've always had the hawks around me after someone passes, and it can be definitely, a spirit animal. But I feel like specifically they're talking about the masculine right now, really gaining the bigger picture view, seeing the truth, being able to rise up above like the 3D illusion, cutting through that. And then it's also talking about coming into their spiritual side, and soaring, and really they're going to start to soar. So that's huge. Feminine, I feel like this is much more, I wish I knew more just in my wisdom and knowledge about salmon. But you guys can look it up. I'll channel to you what they're showing me here. So they're saying they're showing me the flow of the river, and they're saying you need to flow with it, like flow with the current. And some of you are trying to go upstream or against the current, and it's not working for you. And that might be even just somewhat alluding to the fact that this has been an emotional few weeks, and some of you have had like timelines collapsing, and it's been confusing, and you've had nostalgia. I know a lot of people are saying that. You know, there's almost like a grieving, and they're saying like it's not time to go back. Like, don't swim upstream when the current's going downstream. Like, it's a lot easier if you just flow with the current. There's a message about like flowing with the current, like, you know, relaxing into where you're at, you know, flowing, receiving, surrendering, you know, letting the fear go so we can just trust and be guided. Really important. Okay. And then we have the messages from the Ascended Masters and we'll say Archangels. So they're working with us with the daisy. Okay. And you guys, it's like when I make these videos, I don't know what's going to come up. Like, I don't have the definition of the symbolism of a daisy right in front of me. All I can do is just channel how they're showing it to me. If you guys want to look that up after and find out more of what that means, or if you already know, you can comment below. I welcome that. But why are we working with the daisy? And they're saying it's the simplicity and purity. And so it's simplicity and purity. And they're saying don't fret over the mistakes. Okay, so I feel like don't fret over the mistakes. They're trying to say like, you may feel like the water is tainted because things have been a little mucky, you know, they've felt mucky. And maybe mistakes of the past have made you feel like shameful or guilty or like bad about yourself in some way. They're saying nothing can really taint. No, like all your mistakes are part of you rebirthing right now. And I feel like what's sprouting is like a new level of simplicity and purity, but you have to allow it. Because if you take it's really like the perspective of how you're viewing things is, you know, really what I feel like they're trying to show us. Because they're saying like the new growth, like it can't be tainted unless you taint it with your fear perspectives, you know. This is about like trusting. This is about allowing the new to spring and to grow without bringing the past stuff, especially your perspective on yourself, I feel, into the now, into the new. So I feel like they're trying to say have a different outlook, especially on yourself. It's where we've been hard on ourselves, about our mistakes, about wrongs, and it's really calling us, I think, to forgive ourselves. So forgiveness of self. Forgive yourself is the message. So that you can carry forward in an untainted way and not bring those past mistakes forward and all of the associated shame or guilt or whatever you're feeling. Because they're saying new outcomes are possible. Like there's definitely, that's a huge part of this, is like new outcomes are coming. New outcomes. They're saying roll the dice, flow with it. You need to take a risk. there's a risk that you're needing to take. And for some of you, that might be, cutting your losses in certain situations. I feel like knowing when to hold them and when to fold them, right? It's like, knowing when to roll the dice and knowing when to walk away. And sometimes the walking away can feel just as much as the risk as rolling the dice, right? And I feel like the risk is anything that doesn't have a certain outcome, right? And so it could be rolling the dice, or it could be, like I said, just walking away from something and not knowing what comes next or how it's all going to work out. So they're saying, trust yourself, because this is what's going to come when you are listening to yourself, is the new outcomes. They're saying that, we're never going to create a new outcome if we don't take this risk, if we don't trust, if we don't just allow the unexpected to show up. Because definitely, this has been my past few readings, and they're showing me again, like there's unexpected things coming around the corner, unexpected outcomes, higher exalted timelines, better than we expected. But we've got to clear the space. We've got to take the risk. We might be needing to be willing to walk away. We might need to be willing to roll the dice. We might, this is all part of this. And so I feel like, we're moving into a time in which the decisions that you're making right now are going to set up like the next several months in terms of how able and ready and how your space is cleared to receive these higher outcomes. Definitely, if there's something that you've been wanting to do or thinking like, I need to do this, I need to clear this out of my life, or I need to, even right now in this full moon energy, I need to like be focusing on this, and you should be focusing on it, or you should be clearing that thing out. Like, this is a time to act on what we're feeling, acting on our truth, even if it's a risk, even if it's risky. Because they're saying we will be rewarded. There will be better outcomes than you even imagined. Okay, let's go over to the cards. And let's continue the messages there. Oh, that's my board where I put all my schedule and the upcoming things for my business. All right, let's tilt this down. And so we've got the Ascended Masters deck. Angel Therapy, Ascended Masters, Archangels, and we're also using the Diana Cooper Ascension deck, okay? I'm going to move Mother Mary and these crystals over here. Okay. All right, so these are shuffled. I'm going to give them another little shuffle here. Okay, so integrity. So this is about aligning your actions with your inner knowing and of what's right for you and with your intentions. And I feel like this is what they were just talking about when I was writing act. You might need to take a risk, because they're saying we cannot act out of alignment anymore. We have to act in alignment with what we know is good for us, what we know is right for us, what we know is true. For some of you, this might be totally following your heart. And in order to follow our hearts, we've got to be in alignment with that integrity first, right? Because otherwise it becomes like a disconnected. I think I've explained this before, but like when we lead only with our heart and we're not aligned with our power, we're not aligned with our solar plexus, we're not aligned with the gut knowing, it's just like our heart, it's just the emotions, we're running wild. Things can go awry, things can go, you can set yourself up for being too open-hearted and too overgiving and too expectant and too, and it's like we want to lead with our hearts. We want our hearts to guide us, but it's got to be from a place of alignment with that solar plexus, with our integrity, our deep knowing of what's right for us. And I feel like they're saying a lot of people, including the masculine and the feminine, are feeling like I can't not live in my truth. I've got to live in my truth now, and now I've got to take the action steps towards that. So that's really important. So you can ask yourself, like, what are my values? What's important to me? What are my morals? What is that? And are the things that I'm doing and the way that I'm living my life, is that aligning with what I know my worth is and my values are? Those are important questions to ask yourself. We do a lot of that in the Wear Your Crown course. Sorry, you guys, my tripod is like swinging, obviously. I have the earbuds in, and I think it's pulling them. It's pulling the camera. So yeah, we do a lot of that work in the Wear Your Crown course, in my intensive program, and on Vibe Up, my online courses. So if you need help with that, there's tools there for you. You can just click on online courses on my website. Okay, so they're saying you're a powerful light worker. It's safe for you to be powerful. Okay, it's you're bringing powerful light and energy and messages to the collective and to people around you. But I do feel like what they're saying is like it's really important to be in your integrity and in alignment with yourself before you, like, this light can be magnified and radiated even and expanded even larger than we think when we are in alignment with ourselves. Because if we start trying to give from a place of like our own cup being empty, living out of alignment from our own truth, you really need to, when you give to others, you need to be able to walk the talk. And this is about that. This is about, not maybe being hypocritical. It's, it's important. There's nothing that I, preach or teach that, I don't practice myself. And as a light worker, that's important, and that's something that sometimes light workers have to learn. It's not that you have to be all the way healed and all the way, you don't have to be perfect to uplift others, but you do have to sort of walk the talk. And it's really important to be doing that right now, to have that alignment from within before we go and just run to the aid of others or start spreading our light when it's not maybe 100% genuine. You want it to be genuine. So let's see, one more card from that deck. So Goddess energy. So this is like expressing the divine feminine energy, nurturing your intuition. And again, that's the trust in your knowing. I feel like all this stuff from the dry erase board, sorry, it drives me crazy. I don't like mess. Yeah, so that's intuitive knowing. I get the message that that's for the masculine too. It's like the masculine is coming into his own like a feminine expression. So we're going to see the masculine stepping forth over the next few months, like being a much more highly communicative, much more open to receiving, much more intuitively navigating, like making decisions from his gut, just being like, I know this. I just know this to be true. That's how he's going to start talking. That's how he's going to start feeling. Okay, so we're going to see a lot of that coming up here. Let's move over to the Ascended Masters deck. The bottom of this deck is manifestation power. Okay, and I feel like this expressing with our feminine, leading with our intuition, you know, wanting to give our light and being in alignment with our integrity. This is all how we are manifesting and using the guidance that we're receiving in this co-creation dance with the universe, like the spirit animals, the guides, the angels, allowing them to work with you to create as you trust yourself, as you line up with yourself. It's going to be huge, and anchoring your 5D timelines in over the next few months. We're at a really, really huge time for manifestation. We're coming right up on it. Here it is. Here we go. May came fast. I've been talking about it. You guys can go watch my 2019 forecast. I have not wavered in my predictions. I have not, it just has not changed. It just gets clearer and clearer, but the timelines were clear several months ago, many months ago. So the Ascended Masters are talking about artistic expression. So we have Paul the Venetian. And I feel like this is, for some of you, like projects that you're doing of an artistic nature that you're getting ready to show the world. And this is part of what we can manifest. I think you're manifesting patrons. I think you're manifesting opportunities. I think you're manifesting a new way of expressing in your feminine. And for many of you who are artists of any kind, writers, visual artists, visionaries, creators of any kind, you're needing to trust in your ability. And they're saying, don't be afraid to show what you've created, because that's all part of the universe being able to rise up and meet you, is like not just creating behind the scenes, but you know, putting it out there and allowing doors to open, allowing opportunities to come, allowing patrons to show up, allowing, you know, don't block your expansion. So your talents and your gifts are not meant to be hidden, is what they're saying. They're meant to be shared. And so that's your reminder, okay? That is your beautiful reminder of that. Okay, we have Kuan Yin again with the Let It Go, and it's coming in reverse. So, you know, this is like, let those things go that are blocking you from expanding. Let go of the past. Let go of the hurts and the heartache. Let go of any tainted view you've had of yourself. It's time for you to step in the fullness of your expression, your feminine expression, your knowing, your gifts, your talents, your light. And in order to do that, we must let the heaviness, the darkness, the muckiness, the taintedness, the fear, let it all go. And for some of you, this is talking about letting particular people or situations go as well as you step further into your truth. You know, especially I feel the masculine's doing quite a bit of that. Or going to be doing more of that. So clear and shield your energy. I feel like this is like putting yourself in a really high vibrational bubble and not letting the outside energies affect you. Will you be affected by some of the cosmic shifts and collective energies? Of course you will. Will you feel your twin flame and catch on to the energy of those you're connected with at a soul level? Sure, you will. And you guys know that. But you can also put yourself in a 5D bubble. And that might just be that exact visual. And you can use tools to help keep yourself there. Music is a great one. It's interesting because I was picking up on the energies, which have been very wonky. I've been picking up on twin flame, my twin flame energies. I've been picking up on the collective energies. I've been lamenting old timelines. And I'll tell you, it's sent my energy up and down and all around over the past week. And yesterday I woke up having moved through some of that and wanting to really, really be back in my high vibrational state and being able to sustain it. But I haven't been forcing that because I've needed to allow myself to go through whatever I was going through. So anyhow, I was able to maintain or sustain it for a good part of the day. And by the end of the day, I noticed that my cat Stella was really, really low energy and really, really like kind of mirroring how I had been, for several days she had been like that. So I put on music. I like kind of just bubbled us. I put on high vibrational music and she started playing and coming alive and I started dancing and we were like, and this is like, you need to kind of, when you're feeling this way, you need to kind of bubble yourself and make a little, almost like a little bubble or cocoon of high vibrational energy just around you, just in your little family or your little energy space or your little workspace. Use high vibrational music. Okay, I don't really feel like this is a sign or a message that you've got like bad or ill will around you, that you need to protect yourself. I think it's more about getting into a high vibrational state and preserving that. It's more like self-preservation. I was talking to a client yesterday and, I said, like, you have to kind of view your energy as money. And when it's with you and you're in, you're kind of in control of it, you're deciding where you allocate it, where you put it. It's almost like it's in the bank, right? It's in the bank, it's in your bank. And you've got to decide like where you put your energy, right? Like, and also what energy, you're not going to go put, you're not going to go to the bank and put something other than money in your bank, are you? You're not going to go, oh, here's some coal. Could you please deposit my coal? This dark, heavy, mucky coal? No. So like make sure that you're also only allowing in the positive energy and you're deciding carefully where you put your energy. Sometimes we gamble with people, we gamble with our energy, and they're saying it's not the time to do that energetically. It might be the time to like take a risk and walk away from something that's not working. It's time to, step into the unknown, but it's not time to pour our energy into things or people or situations that are toxic or low vibrational, because you kind of know what your return on investment is with that. You're going to lose your energy. It's never coming back to your bank, right? So think about that. Remember that. Keep that in mind at this time. So the bottom of the deck is Go Now, Serapis Bay, which we've seen him quite a bit recently, and I always just get the message like go now. I feel like this is go now to your greatness. Go now to your full potential. Go now, take that risk in terms of not risking where you put your energy, but the latter explanation, which was, walking away from something that's not working. Go now towards yourself and away from anything that's not in your truth or in alignment with your integrity. Some of you are going to be ripping band-aids off sooner than you expected. So we're going to see some people making changes quicker than they even anticipated. Like you might be planning and plotting things, going, okay, well, I'll wait until, this month, or I'll wait until more finances are here to make this change. And they're saying like a lot of you are making changes, like you're ripping the band-aid off sooner. So it's interesting. And the Archangels deck. So we saw this card come up, I think in my last reading. Passion. And it's coming up in reverse. So there's something I feel like that coincides here with this artistic expression and our passions. And I feel like we're not completely allowing ourselves to, it's like these feel like we need to allow ourselves the ability to express and to follow through in our passions. It's okay to renew your passions at this time or to reconnect with old passions that you've let die. And then they want us to express them. So that's important. Expression, it could be passions, things that you just enjoy doing. It could be passions like actual art and self-expression and gifts that you have that you want to share but maybe are scared about sharing, and now's the time. So healthy lifestyle. So this is the message I'm getting is, yes, some of these energies have left you a little wonky. It might be like throwing off your sleep schedule and you need to regulate that. So that's important. But I do feel like some of you have been crutching to health issues or like illnesses or health issues. And they want you to know it's safe for you to let go of that crutch, and that wellness is a natural state. Wellness is accessible to everybody. There may be some homeopathic shifts that you need to make, but there's definitely mental shifts, because they're showing me that it's not just about eating healthy and getting sleep and exercise. Like mentally, you have to allow the wellness to come into you and your physical being as well. And some of you are crutching to illness or sickness or limitations, and the wellness, I feel like, is knocking at our door. The tools for this healthy expanded lifestyle are right at our doorstep. You might feel a pull to, like me, to like do the celery juice or something like that, some protocol that's going to help you kick some illness or disease or something that's like disrupting your physical body. Try those things. If they're calling to you, they're calling to you for a reason. This would be a great time, like as we come up on May, for you to implement some of these changes. We'll be doing some of that in my summer camp. A lot of it will also incorporate healthy lifestyle recipes, high vibrational recipes, and workouts for your ascension to support your emotional and mental healing. Like that's truly important right now. Okay, we're seeing comfort. Okay, Archangel Azrael is saying, I'm with you in your time of need, helping your heart to heal. So this could be like those recent sensitive energies where you're just needing to feel comforted. I also get the message like your twin flame is with you and is also trying to comfort you at this time, even if you're not in communication or not playing out anything on the physical plane. Like I get the message that there's a comforting, forgiving, loving embrace from twin to twin that's coming through. Sort of like a healing of the heart chakra for both the twins. That's taking place at this time. Some of you who really need to heal the inner child wounds or recent traumas or anything like that, and you're really just feeling like you need a hug, you can call on Mother Mary, and Mother Mary will assist you and come in and just envelop you and wrap you in her loving embrace. And let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. Relationship harmony. So Archangel Raguel, we angels are opening the hearts of everyone involved. Arguments and conflicts are being resolved now. So I think why this is coming up in reverse is just because we're supposed to trust this. And some of you aren't trusting that it's healing at a higher level. And I just told you it is. It is. The twins are comforting one another right now. But it's at an ethereal, higher 5D level. It's a lot of healings taking place at a much higher level right now. And you can't see it in the physical, but it's happening. And that's going to harmonize the twin flame connections. And so trust in that, okay? And let's just draw a card from the Ascension deck. Pallas Athena, so goddess of truth and wisdom, okay? She's the Lord of Karma for the fourth ray. She holds the sword of truth to show humanity the way. This is about, again, it's about leading. It's about going away from the negative things, the drama, the things that aren't serving us, the lower vibrational people. It's not putting our energy in their bank anymore. It's putting our energy in our own bank and then walking away or taking a risk towards the truth, right? It says that she's using wisdom to settle disputes, and I feel like this is, also this reminder of like we don't, that some of the healing in conflicts and anywhere where there's been hurts, it's happening at a higher level. It's not even that you just need wisdom, you just need to allow the healing to come through, there's no need to fight the battles or to hang on to the resentments any longer. Reminds me of the salmon with the feminine, like flowing backwards or flowing upstream or wanting to go back or wanting to hang on to the old stuff. And, they're talking about purifying that stream and clear water and flowing with the current. So your guidance is to follow her example, see the higher perspective in all areas of your life, draw on your abundance of wisdom and tact to communicate with everyone concerned, and use the sword of truth to point the divine way forward, to point the divine way forward. So it's about letting the truth light the way for you. Okay, so let the truth lead the way. I love that. I'll leave you with that. Again, happy Easter, you guys. If you want to work with me this week, you can book appointments on spiritualmaterialgirl.com. It was great spending this time with you. Love to you all. Mwah. Bye.